First name is Walter.
In Stensland?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're major deputy?
I am a lieutenant with Harris County Precinct 4 Constable's office.
And so what time did this happen?
We got the call about 12:35 this afternoon.
And the call was?
The call was, the first call was I got two females at my door banging on the door. A few minutes later, we got a second call that said they're breaking my windows with rocks. They're throwing rocks at the house. And that was the last call we got.
Did the homeowners or the people inside ever say, get out of here? Or did they know there was someone in there and they kept trying to come on in?
The homeowner never answered the door. He says he never answers the door during the day. Don't know if he gave, we're still investigating that part of it. It's still fresh. So.
And so then what happened? From what you can piece together?
Basically, Precinct 4 deputies were responded here on two people throwing rocks at the window, actually trying to break the glass. The homeowner had told the dispatch that he had his shotgun with him, and he was in fear, basically. We get here, come to find out we have two people that didn't live in the neighborhood that had actually gained entry into the house. Shots were fired. Both suspects were struck in the upper torso. They were both transported by life flight helicopter to downtown hospitals for medical treatment.
So when they were they shot in the house?
Yes, they were in the house.
Were they both found in the house?
One was found in the house. One was able to exit the door, ran across the street, and collapsed in the yard across the street.
And they're both women?
They are both female suspects, yes.
Young women?
Are they
They
adults?
they appear to be adults. We don't have the date of births on everybody at this time. The EMS got them as quick as they could and started rendering first aid, so we didn't interfere with the life-saving efforts. But they both appear to be adults.
And when you said they're not from this area, were they from Houston, somewhere else?
Well, they actually the vehicle they showed up in stolen. It's reported stolen out of the sheriff's department. I don't know if it was taken in at gunpoint or what, but we do know the vehicle's stolen. So that leads us to believe that they don't live in the neighborhood. They probably used a stolen vehicle to get here to commit another crime.
Was it stolen today? Do you know?
I think it was earlier in the morning, but I can't verify that because I hadn't necessarily looked it up myself.
So that raises some red flags.
It does raise some red flags, correct.
How about the homeowner? How's his condition?
The homeowner's in good, he's cooperating with the investigation. We're waiting for detectives to get here to interview him, and then from there we will refer the case over to the detectives, and they'll probably do a follow-up interview this afternoon.
Was it just him in the house? Or?
Yes, he was by himself.
And his general age?
He's a white male in his 60s.
Okay, so a retiree.
That's correct, yes.
And how unusual is it, or are you seeing it more often, that females are involved in these
That
things?
is very unusual. This is actually the first time that I can think of in recent dates that I've actually seen this. It's mostly the male counterpart that actually does this kind of stuff. So.
Did they say anything before they were taken away?
No. There was no questions, no answers, none of that, no talking.
And I apologize if you had talked to this already, but how's the homeowner now?
The homeowner's in good health. He's in good shape. He's cooperating with the investigation, and he's not in distress or anything. So.
Does this appear to be?
The shotgun was the only weapon used, so both suspects were shot with a shotgun.
Does this appear to be one of those classic cases of defending your home, since it happened inside?
That's what it appears at preliminary investigation, yes.
Did they have any weapons that you know of?
Not that we know of, but we hadn't completely. We got crime scene on scene now, so they're going to do a thorough investigation and collect all evidence.
You did everything?
They made entry went through a window to gain entry.
There was entry was made. There's a little panel glass right there beside the door. That window was broken. Reached in and was able to unlock the
so they actually, I mean, even as they were coming into the they did.
Okay.
Even as they were coming into the house, the homeowner, did he say, "I've got a gun"?
You
don't know.
We hadn't asked those questions. We're just now starting that part of the investigation. We're waiting for the detectives to show up and conduct that part.
So sorry, they didn't knock on the door or anything. They broke
didn't.
the window.
They
and
didn't.
entered.
They knocked on the door several times. There was no answer, and at that time they obviously didn't think anybody was there, and they broke a window to gain entry.
Did they have any weapons? I'm sorry if you're repeating.
We hadn't went through the crime scene thoroughly yet because we just had our crime scene unit show up. Once we process that, we'll know more.
You always hear that if somebody's knocking at the door, you should tell them you're there, because maybe that will avoid this whole situation. Do you think that's correct or not?
I always do. Everybody has their own opinion. An opinion's just that. But if somebody knocks on my door, I usually let them know I'm at home, and that way they know to go somewhere else.
I answer with my gun.
I was going to say,
Where were the two
my very
the
large
intruders?
dog.
Where were they shot?
Upper torso,
Upper torso.
which means chest?
chest, and shoulder areas.
And what condition
One
were
shot
they in?
each?
They were we know for a fact they were shot one time each. Condition was it was urgent. They were life flown downtown. EMS got them as quick as they could and got them to the helicopter. That's why
Was
we
it
don't
a
have.
double-barreled or a single?
I'm not sure.
Pump? Okay.
Where
an
were they
approximate
physically
age?
when they were shot?
They were inside the doorway of the house.
Front door.
Yes.
And they were two women?
Yes.
And how, do you know how old they were?
No, don't know how old they are.
Do we
They
know their
appear to be-
relationship to each other?
The relationship to the suspect?
No, I mean like the two
No,
intruders to
no.
each other.
We don't even know their birth dates, and one of them we don't even know their name. So
Okay, so we don't have ages, or
No,
what
not
about?
yet.
Do we know if they were maybe black, white, Hispanic?
we do know they were black, black
Okay.
females.
It's Lieutenant